I think we're good to go. I think I got it working. I think we're all good. Chat should be able to type. You should be able to see everything. Let me know if I got it all going. You should be able to hear me, though. Hi, Charlie. All right. I don't have any music on right now. That's because I was trying to make sure it was all working. But I think we're all good. It says I'm live. So I think we got it beautifully. Awesome, awesome. Welcome back. Yay. Hi, everyone. Here, let me get the scene on. Hi. We're here. Look at that. It's been a little bit. Yeah, so for those that don't know, I spent about 2 years working with It Gets Better, and then took a little break for about like 6 months as I needed to, life was just a little busy, and I am happy to be back. And it's a perfect time for me to be back because I am going to have some stories to share. I am, first of all, to start, I'm having bottom surgery next Friday. So, like, this is like the perfect time because it's right before the surgery. So, I can be here, I can chat, and then the next time I stream, I'll be able to talk about, as much that like keeps like the conversation going, but I will be able to have all of that going, and I'm really excited to be able to like share my experiences because I feel like that is something that isn't able to be had as much when it comes to like, you know, going through it in the exact moment and then being able to also, you know, give like insight for it because bottom surgery is this thing that I feel like not a lot of people have like a lot of like you hear about it, people want it, but in a way to like help educate and help other people learn and like figure this stuff out in terms of just everything that goes on with it. I feel like that is something that I really like, and so I really look forward to this aspect here for me. So I'm excited to, be able to be back here. It's a good time for me to be able to hang out and interact with everybody and, just have some good storytelling. I have absolutely loved It Gets Better, and I look forward to the stuff that we're going to do. So today, we're going to do a little just like sort of ease ourselves back into things with It Gets Better. I am going to explore the new Genshin region because that just came out as of 2 days ago. And I love it. It's beautiful. Genshin also is just like, I feel like a great game to stream. Hi, Zaz. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So I am just going to honestly just throw myself right into the game and we will get ourselves going because I am just excited to be able to hang out with you all and spend the next 3 hours here. I was saying it before. Yesterday, I felt like I was getting really, like, I was worried I was going to get sick. And I didn't want that to affect my surgery at all. So I was like, God, I don't want to have to, like, cancel working today. But I also knew how important it was for me to get back into It Gets Better. So I was like, please feel better. And I'm feeling good. My stomach's not bothering me anymore. I don't have any aches in my body. So I'm like, good. I am ready. I am here. All right. Will Genshin work? There we go. We're good. We got there. So, yeah. And for those of you that are coming in from my stream that are unfamiliar with It Gets Better, It Gets Better is an LGBTQIA plus youth charity that has specialized in storytelling and just how providing other education for people and ways of being able to learn about our experiences and different perspectives. And I love It Gets Better because we really do have so many different perspectives. Ayaka, yeah, I got the Ayaka. Oh, I can do Spiral to start the day. We'll do some Spiral to start. Bring out the squad here. I I have done so much over like the 2 years that it gets better. Like I if I didn't take off that 6 months that I did with It Gets Better, I would have been here for every moment since they started their Twitch channel, which I hold as like such like a special place in my heart because I've been able to see this like idea grow as like for like content creation, and I really do love everything that we do here. So I love just being able to be a part of it and hosting conversations or hosting ideas. I think we're gonna bring out the freeze setup, and then do I bring? I mean, vaporize is like the thing here, but like I don't have great vaporize. Is the problem? I think I just bring Toma if I'm gonna vaporize though. No, this means you can bring out your Gaming. Heck yeah! I look forward to seeing your Gaming in action, and then we'll bring that squad here. You know, it's really funny for me when it comes to like streaming Genshin, because I have so much time of Genshin played off stream, but I rarely let myself stream it. So any chance that I get to be able to stream it is just like a really just like satisfying time for me, because this is just what I would be playing off stream. Genshin is just such a like comfort game for me, and it's something that I very much didn't think I would have. And I'm sure we all have those like comfort games when it comes to just something that we can always play, always something to do in that game that allows us to just get a little joy in our day. I feel like, so when I'm going to be sitting in the hospital recovering from my surgery next week, most of my time will probably be like playing something like Genshin or like Honkai Star Rail. Because these games are just this feeling for me of like comfort, and I know I can spend a lot of time playing it and, you know, enjoy myself. Even if I'm not like doing story. And I have story quests that are just sitting around that I have not done. Zaz, how's your Gaming looking like right now? Let's do character healing. I have decided, I was going back and forth on, so we're gonna get a free character in Genshin for this event. And I was really going back and forth on who I wanted to grab with my free one. However, I have officially made the decision that I'm gonna grab Gaming with the free version. Primarily because I really like his playstyle. His bouncing around was super satisfying for me, and I want to be able to keep bouncing around. But over three for this, sometimes you dislike comfort games when you're sick. Just here to associate comfort. No, I don't think that's weird at all. Actually, I think that's like a really good thought process to have, Genshin. I think that, you know, it's kind of like when you're feeling like depressed or anything like that. Like, some people avoid the things that they like because they don't want to not enjoy it anymore. That's a very real feeling. I think some people gravitate to, you know, like, let's use food as an example. Like, comfort food is something that people primarily will gravitate to because, again, it is exactly that. It's a comfort food for them. It is something that they know is going to try to bring them joy. But when we're also just like having it really rough, or we're having it really sick, and we know nothing's gonna fix it, like yesterday is an example of that for me, where I love pulled pork sandwiches, but I went out with my dad when I didn't have any appetite. And so we went out, I ordered food, and I had like 2 bites of the food. And the entire time, he was trying to remind me, he was like, don't be upset at yourself for not knowing why you're feeling like this right now. Just, I'm happy that we went out, even if you're not eating. And I know you'll eat it later, when you feel like you have an appetite. And I think like that's the kind of thing that a lot of people really need. Because just like you're saying, sometimes we don't have that, just thing that we are hoping to get out of. I think that's the same thing for me when it came to like the holiday season. Because that was another thing that I did want to talk about, even though we are now officially in February, which is crazy to me that we're already in February. But I wanted to talk about the holiday season, because I know like that's like a really stressful time for a lot of people. And for some people, it's this like time of joy, this time of, you know, good spirits and good energy. But for a lot of people, especially those that might not be like out or are just queer in general, it becomes this like harder environment. For me, I am very thankful for like the family that I have. Do not get me wrong. But in terms of like a family that is very accepting. But I also feel as though sometimes it's really hard for me to want to spend time with them because of their political views being down directions that are almost conflicting with how they support me. And it's this like really like frustrating environment to be in. Hydro damage is increased. I don't really have a lot of variety to pick from right now. I'm trying to build out my Diluc, but he's still a work in progress. I've at least been able to throw on Bennett, and I have like a few more options. But a lot of these people that are like 80 or 90 are just not even fully built. Which is really just like a testament to me. And my lack thereof for building. Let's do Lynette here. I don't need the Vaporize, so I don't need the Thoma there. But my next focus right now in Genshin is I want to get my Bennett and my Fischl finished. It's so funny when I look at my Fischl, because she is not a character at all that I wanted to build. However, can I pull up my menu here? I can't. I have just gotten so many good artifacts for her that I almost feel compelled to build her. How many constellations on Bennett? C1. I don't have many cons, I'm pretty sure. Sorry if I missed it. Do you already know who I'm picking for the 4-star Lantern, right? I have been on the fence about it. I think I'm gonna... I think I'm gonna go Gaming. Gaming was the first thought that I had. And then I thought maybe Yao Yao because I don't have a Dendro applicator that I want. And then it ended up being back to Gaming when I played Gaming. So I think it's gonna be Gaming. C1 is the important one on Gaming in Bennett. Yeah, I at least have one con. I almost went Beto as well, because I know Beto would have been able to, because I have C0 Beto, and I want to use Beto with my, Nouvellette. But until I pull a C1, there's no point in building the Beto out. But I want the shield for Nouvellette when she ults. Come on. Okay, Jellyfish comes out. Drop the Ayaka. And that should wipe out the rest of this. Beautiful. Gaming is the little guy who jumps a lot. Yeah, but the jumps are also just so satisfying, and you get it so frequently. Even without Cloud Retainer, he feels just like a really strong character, and I don't really have like a good pyro damage healer. I'm trying to build out my Diluc, but that hasn't really been working out as well as I would have liked, if I'm being honest with you. And by that I mean, his pieces just haven't been great. I'm hoping that he can get better soon, but yeah, he has not been coming through as well as I would have liked. The double Rune Raider. I really like being able to freeze the Rune Raiders here. Just keep them like perma-frozen. You wish you had more crit damage, had a crit damage claymore? Yeah, is there really any crit damage claymores? But yeah, like, if I look right here at, like, my characters... So we take a peek, how do I look at my characters here? I guess I can just leave real quick. I can leave Spiral and do that. I really rolled through those first couple areas, though. There's always Blackcliff. True, it is just out of the shop. Oh, but it is shop reset day. Hi, Torch. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping in. It gets better. It's holding the shop in uneven months. Ooh, decent feather. Okay. Not a... Actually, that might be good. That might be good. I will hold on to that piece. Yeah, I couldn't afford Blackcliff, unfortunately. God, the Shenhe outfit is so gender. Look at this Shenhe outfit. It's just so gender. Like, I love Shenhe. Oh my god. And the Ganyu, they're both just so beautiful. The outfits, I love it. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, see, I only had 18. Oh, it's a Beto month. Well, if only I could afford Beto. However, this is the important stuff to grab. In the meantime, you may swap from Serpent Spine to Wolf's Gravestone since you have too much crit rate. What's your crit rate at right now with them? You bought the Ganyu one because she's the cutest. Oh, purple? One purple pull. Favonius Lance. I got a Diluc recently on Standard, so I don't expect to pull anything. But I gotta at least try. Okay, nothing else. Yeah, if we look here, I yoinked the Luke about 14 pity ago. Also, shout out to the lovely... Oh, I am actually more than 10 in here. So, you can see, I pulled Ayaka, and then 5 pulls later, I pulled the Luke. So now I'm 20 pulls in, with a guarantee for when the next character I want comes out, which is going to be Chiori. I'm saving for Chiori. Oh yeah, so let me show you my official. So I don't even have her fully built yet. Uh-huh. Let's get her to 60 at least. So let's talk about official. Let me show you her artifacts. We'll start with this. The good old 28% crit value with the 8% attack. Then this flower, which started off strong. I want to replace this flower. But still, crit attack. This attack sans with 22% crit damage, ER, crit rate, and attack. And on piece, electro damage boost goblet with 7% crit rate, 15% attack, and a little bit of EM. And this crit rate circlet that rolled 27% crit damage. I did not want to build her, but like, she's 65, 113 with 142 EM. Like, those pieces were just so good. I was like, I just have to build her, you know? Am I in the... Like, I feel like... You all under... It could work for Chiori since she's off field. True. But... I'm assuming Chiori's gonna want the new Geo set. Because I feel like they wouldn't make that set and only have it just for Navia, you know? So I'm kind of anticipating that being the set to build for her. Nuvolek goes on first half. That's all I have to ever worry about. I could ignore official, but like I also need an Electro, the Neo Geo set. Yeah, the Navia set. The crystallized one. I also like, because like if you look here, I have Kujo Sara, Dory, Kaching, Fischl, Beto, my Beto's C0, and Lisa, and then Razor. Like I don't have good Electro application, so Fischl's primarily going to be doing that for me. Yeah, we don't have the information out yet for how she's going to scale. However, I'm sure leak information is going to come out soon for that. Yeah, so I think what I'm really looking forward to be doing when it gets better this year, I already have ideas for things I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to try, so for those that know, I had done a one-off show called Bays, Gays, and Bays. I try to leave leak information out of Twitch chats for the people who are avoiding leaks. And I really loved the concept, but I was really bad at reaching out to people. And so a big goal for me going into this year is going to be reaching out to people more. So I'm going to be bringing that Bays, Gays, and Bays show back. And I'm going to do at least one show of it on It Gets Better. As a, you know, way of, like, keeping it going and just talking about our queer perspectives and stuff like that. I feel like I've talked about this on my stream. This year is the year that I want to make sure I have no regrets with my content creation. And so a big goal of mine is to really push myself more than how I have been. So I'm trying to come up with these ideas. I'm trying to continue to build, because I also want to help grow It Gets Better as much as I want to, you know, grow my own brand. So I want to help make these moments things that people are going to want to be here for, and that are going to be memorable for. And make this year a year that just, I have no regrets. The world is going to be scary right now, especially with an election year coming up. It's important to make our voices heard, and I don't want to live with those regrets either, of not speaking out on, you know, the issues that are important to me. Because not only are these important to me, but they're also important to the generations to come. Good thing you're doing Albedo on Golden Troop. Albedo on Golden Troop, I wonder what... Can you actually look? Because do you have an Albedo? Can you see if there's any people who are using Golden Troop on him right now? Because you can click that, like, little tab in the corner. That tells you what the frequency of a character set is. So I'd be curious on, like, if there's any Albedo users for them. At least that are high enough in that total yet. But yeah, Gen, I don't know if you would use Discord at all. I don't mind that information in, like, Discord and have it be, like, spoiler tag. It's only 6% right now. Interesting, but you're using it. Okay, so there is people using Golden Troop. I will say, I have been thinking about an Albedo recently, but my goals are much more Ito. Ito is my big goal, along with Chiori. This little abyss mage that I did not plan for. This is my only problem here. It's fine though, this is the second half. I'll break its shield real quick here, and then we'll be good to go. Thankfully, it's the last unit. Alright, there we go. At least Noelle gets a reprieve of Marshmallow Hunter now. I actually... So if you did the trial for Cloud Retainer, or one of their trials, I think it had... Or maybe it was just Noelle. But they actually had Noelle on the Geo set. And it actually seemed pretty fun to use. So that like that crystallized Geo set, if I were to build her, I might consider doing that right now, in my opinion. But also, I really like that set. You only need like one Geo character to need that though, because it's also just boosting your Geo damage. But I don't think it stacks. Alright, floor 11, second half here. Punch. Just get rid of this one, and then we drop a taunt so she stays here. Oh, they did? You didn't look at what set they gave her? You're planning on using her with Farina since you already had the Hunter set in her? Oh, yeah! No, that's fair. I noticed it because I have Navia now. I noticed the little crystal particles dropping. So that was like a big, as soon as I saw those, I was like, oh, interesting. Also, did you notice that they introduced a new quality of life change where when you're doing the trials, it now lets you easily swap between the other trials. Instead of having to back out and rejoin, it lets you just quickly hit select another trial. I was really happy when I saw that. Hey, Shrine Maiden, can you leave? I just want the Shrine Maiden gone. There's just so much damage coming out right now. It's a good thing that I can always just like heal back up with between Kokomi and Risley. Okay, the hard part is gone. There's another Shrine Maiden. Get the Shrine Maidens off my screen! Chad, help me! I'm just going over to this one. I don't want to deal with you again. I think she just blinked away and dodged it. She dodged the Hydro application of it. So I didn't get the freezer. Alright. We got through it. Okay. I'm not gonna touch floor 12 yet, because I don't do well on floor 12. I'll do that another time. I just wanted to get through the easy parts. I still do not 36 star it, but I do get most of it done. I will at least get it done. Why do I have so many new sets here? Okay, any good pieces? Decent. Scrap, scrap. So yeah, this set over here. After using an elemental skill, gain 20% geo damage bonus for 10 seconds, and then you create the crystallized reactions, which increases it by 150%. So I think this actually goes pretty well on Noelle. I'd be curious if I look at Noelle, would it show she has high usage with it? No, they're on the defense set right now. But Marshmallow Hunter is there. Alright, we'll do our dailies. Actually, I don't need to do my dailies. Because, like, the reality is that I can just explore the Chenyu Vale, which is the gorgeous area. Let me just quickly burn I'll condense resin just so I don't cap on my resin, so I can explore the area. If I want to use it in a second, I will. I just don't want to cap, so I was like, let me condense that real quick. I don't know if any of you have, like, seen this new area yet, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. I am such a fan of it. Let me... Also, you can see, I've already explored a good amount of it. 50% already. You hate farming for the defense set? I haven't actually farmed for the defense set to know how bad it is. So, here is the Chenyu Vale. I love the greenery. It is just so gorgeous. The music is beautiful. It's so colorful and lush. Like, everything about this is just so nice to look at. It makes me so happy to just walk around this area. Doesn't have Noelle too high on the cool... have too high of a cooldown for the Geo set? And maybe, but there's also ways of reducing it. Hi, good luck having a look at the new area also. I'm not doing any story quests, Boo. So you're free there. I'm just kind of exploring it, if that helps you at all. But hi, Boo. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm just going around, pretty much chest gathering. I did one of the world quests already in my free time. It's with Clam. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. I remember now. But I understand if you're trying to avoid it, Boo. Oh, it's up there is what I'm looking... No, there's one up there. But the one I'm looking for is, like, here? I'll just go for this one, though, because I saw a chest there. And it'll be a lot easier to get up here. I am just... I did not think that I would be an exploration fiend that I have become. But I really have become an exploration fiend. Pew! And then the updraft to get the currency. Alright, go back down here. And what's great is I don't have to do my dailies. Because I'm pretty much getting my dailies done this way. That's why I was like, why do my dailies? Another quality of life thing that Genshin added recently. Is it behind the rock? No, it's not behind this rock here. Where is this one that I'm looking for then? Interesting. I also can't find the big puzzle piece here. Maybe this is like a two-parter one. It's probably a two-parter thing here. Yeah, because I have to get this. Yeah, so the little crystals that drop here that you see on the ground, that's what I noticed when Noelle was using it. So with this puzzle, you have to gather up this and place it where, typically like right here. And then, yeah, so that opened this, which then brought that out. So it was a two-parter. So now we hit these two. And that's the big chest. Beautiful. Now, I just need to figure out where this other currency is. Because it should be, like, right here. It's above me. I see it now. Okay, I have to get back up there. Because it's not, like, an oculi. It's, like, hard to see. You know what I mean? I feel like it's hard to see. God. Can I just... I really... It gets better. Just... I don't know. There's just some... Even though I've been kind of doing this, like, welcome back and exploring the region. There's just something about being back here that always brings, like, warmth in my heart. I feel like I really did miss just having... You know, the thing about It Gets Better that I think really came out of this for me was how much I grew because of It Gets Better. And by that, I mean, I feel as though I became a lot more of an advocate, a lot more outspoken, because I started to work and be an ambassador for this platform. I feel like I don't know if I would be the person I was, or the person that I am now, if it wasn't for what I have been able to grow from by being on here. Between the conversations that I would host and the people that I would meet and the inspiration that I've gathered through others, it really has just meant so much to me over this time. Yes, this might be, the Chenya Vale just might be like one of my favorite areas to explore. It's just so pretty. The music is so good. Is that gonna be enough for at least the daily? Yeah. Cool. Dailies are done. Nice. Hi, Rainy. Welcome back. I think you never know the kind of environment that's gonna change you as a person. And, I mean, I think back to before I even came out, before I was even on Twitch, how much shyer as like a person I was, how more reserved I was. I wasn't outspoken, I wasn't really one to talk about a lot. I was very... Gonna sneeze. Sorry. Just like, I was, you know, hide my face, stay out of trouble kind of situation. But I think the more that I wanted to be true to myself, the more that I realized the me that I wanted to be is this outspoken advocate for people. This version of myself that, you know, helps inspire other people and helps them become who I hope that they want to be. You know? I think that that's a challenge at times to allow ourselves to do that. But the more that you see other people being true to yourself, the more you are more likely to want to replicate that. It's why we need people from all walks of life to be just visible. Because you never know how being you can impact the next person who is afraid to be them. And I think that's a big motivation for me when it comes to wanting to still be able to do content for a long time. I started streaming back in 2017, which is crazy to think about because by July of this year, I'll hit 7 years. And I talk about it on my stream, where I feel as though my streaming journey has almost been this documentation of my journey. I started off on Twitch pretty much when I came out. And through all of that, I started to continue to become more and more the person who I want to be. I started to see the person that I wanted other people to see more for. And I think that that is really just like powerful. Especially with, I think the pandemic led to a lot of us having a more reserved personality. Hi Pong, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. So it's one of those things where I think the more you hear, the more you get inspired, and the more you get inspired, the more it allows us all to like grow here. Do I do character interviews? I am currently working for a stream for a charity that I work for. I am an ambassador for the stream here. This is not my personal channel. Oh, character reviews. Sorry, not interviews. I misread. I don't normally do character reviews on like stuff like that. I don't sign into other people's accounts and such. I completely misread. My bad. I really am just like exploring the new region right now. Wouldn't even be, like if you told me a character and we talked about your character, I don't mind like looking at it and checking or like talking about it and like giving my opinion on things. But in terms of like signing into somebody else's account and like looking over your account, that's not something I do, no. I like to give my insight and my opinion on things. And I like to let chat, you know, have their opinions as well. But I haven't ever thought about... My personal channel, I don't have a large, like, Genshin following to do character reviews. So they're not something that I've ever really considered. However, I'm glad that people enjoy them. Let's just turn in my dailies real quick. You know what's really nice about this area as well for me? I am, like, Mora starved. Like, I have all of this money right now, but it's gonna go away in, like, 10 seconds. Because I have so many characters and I'm constantly trying to build. This is the most Mora that I've had actively, and, like, okay, no, yeah, no problem. So if there's a character that, like, you are like, thinking about or something like that, by all means, feel free to, like, talk about it. I've actually only been playing Genshin since, like, July of last year. So a lot of it for me is still, like, learning. But I like talking about characters' builds and things like that. So yeah, I feel like I am just, because I'm playing catch up so much, I'm in this like constant state of trying to get as much Mora as fast as possible. So anytime we have like a new battle pass or a new event or a new area to explore, it's like, okay, all the Mora in the world. Especially for Liwa, when I can actually turn in 150 of these and make another 120,000. And then what's also neat about... Oh, there's a chest in this area that I still don't have. That's funny. What's nice about the Chenyu Veil, too, is you can use this, like, treasure hunting item and use it in the Chenyu Veil. And as somebody who hadn't really done Reputation Rewards very much... What server am I on? I'm on NA. So it's really nice that I can gather up all these resources. And have, like, consistent usage here. It's really showing me just how many chests I've probably missed over the time here. Like, that's what I'm gathering, is just I miss a lot of chests in towns. Because I don't climb around enough, I think, is my big thing. If you want to try it, you can actually do artifact roots and turn the artifacts into Mora too. I can turn the artifacts into Mora? How do I turn the artifacts into Mora? Because you're in Asia? Oh. Well, then all the more reason to talk about your builds and your ideas there. Yeah, I am a North American girly. Oh, there's a chest. 1 and 2 stars, you can destroy them and it gives you more. Oh, interesting. So, like, I just opened up a chest or two. So if I go into here, I can trash that. And it gives, oh yeah, 420 more. Interesting. I'm not sure that's a lot of, it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but that is interesting. That it gives you that. Never would have known that. Because I am like paranoid of clicking that button. It's one of those things where, like, God forbid I click that and I, like, delete something that I actually needed. Last thing I want to do there. Alright, back to the new area exploration. Let's go here. And then, yeah, we'll just drop this. Oh, good. Nothing in the immediate vicinity. That's when you know I'm doing well. I mean, we're already at 50% in the first new area. Artifact rack gives you lots of free artifacts, but takes some time to learn the routes. Oh, so you're talking about, like, as if there was, like, an investigate button here, I would give, like, a 1 star there. Interesting. I understand now. Oh, another world quest there. Oh, wait. I want me to go that way. Alright, I'll remember that. Let me just accept the world quest first. Well, not a world quest, just like a story quest. There are rats where you find them every day. Interesting. I never would have known that that was a thing. A cat! It's too, like, shore-like. Yeah, it's probably the same way back when you... What's my favorite element? I think I'm a cryo girly, for sure. Animo is definitely up there. But cryo, also Geo is winning me over. I have 3 Geo characters that I really like, and then so it's probably cryo and Geo, but cryo definitely number 1. Yeah. All right, let me just accept all these quests here. I accept these quests because I know eventually I'm gonna want to do them. You collect up to 150 investigate spots. I didn't know there was a cap, too. That's crazy that there's even a cap. So, I mean, I guess if you did, like, 140 times... Or 150 times 420. Do some quick math there. And... you get how much more a day? 63,000. It's not really that much. It's honestly a surprise. I would have thought it would be more. I mean, 62,000 is still 62,000. Especially if you got it a day. But that just adds to the grind. You get more from the investigation spots? Oh, true. True. I guess I did do, like, the baseline pricing. Wait, why am I swimming with you? Sweetheart, no. We don't swim with you. We do that with you. That is my overworld traveling. Alright. So we should have a chest nearby. I'll find out in a couple seconds. Where am I looking? Huh? Over here? Oh, it's literally just right there. Oh, I'm just blind. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit. That doesn't surprise me one bit. I am... There's a reason I use elemental sight everywhere. If you ever played Lethal Company, it's like how I scan with right click the entire time. I am just not able to see well. I am oblivious to things. So by scanning, I am much more likely. Cat! Look at the new cat! Look at all the cat. Look at him. Just having a little teapot break. Let's go hang out with the cat. Hi, Autumn. How are you? I hope you're doing well. This is my life when I move out. Also, thank you for the follow. Pong, hope you're enjoying it gets better. Thanks for stopping on in. So I think it's on the other side here. You let the goats do attack you when you attack them, and then it rammed you. I am glad that the rams do not attack you like these boars will. That one teleport area where the boars just like will ram you at the start is traumatizing. It's like a jump scare. Alright. There's more. Where else would you have pulled us to? Oh, over here. Got it. Yoink! This puzzle's fun. Because it's just like pulling it back and forth into the little teapot areas. Doing alright. Got on for volunteering. Got in and out a local card shop. Ooh, what kind of packs did you buy? Tell me. What were you volunteering for? I love that. Love that for you. Just take in the music here. Isn't just this area just so serene, so peaceful? Like, you know how people make videos on like a game like Dark Souls and the world building there? So what you just do? I should just do a video on like the music and environments on Genshin. Because my god, is it just this area is just so, it gets Avatar like, you know? Also, on the topic of Avatar, did y'all see the news about the new Avatar live action series? If you didn't see, the TLDR is they have pretty much made it so that Sokka's whole like character building from being this, you know, rather like sexist character to learning how to be inspired by women and the growth that he had there. They completely are removing that whole, like, character dynamic to him. And I feel like it's so weird to do. Like, I understand wanting to have growth and, like, showing that, like, some things might be a little rough, and I recognize that. But what is a character flaw that shows to be this growth environment in a character where you see the real development? I feel like, I don't know, it just feels wrong to me. It feels as though something got taken away to have, like, you know, more things develop in a character. Feels like, yeah, like, I understand wanting something to feel safe and wanting to create environments for everybody. I am somebody who wants to do that all the time. But I think that, like, I feel like we get to this point in media where a lot of the time we are put into these situations where often in media we will see changes get made that on the surface they feel like that it's a good thing. And a lot of the time, yes, something like this is good to have change. So TikTok about them saying, let them be bad so that they can get better. Yes. I think a lot of the time, we, like, I will admit, as somebody who was closeted, growing up, I was very ignorant in my conservative town that I grew up in. I would argue I was bad. But I got better. And now I am this trans, queer woman, but also advocate. And part of that stemmed from realizing how I was. And how I was, A, denying myself. Which the reality is that so many people are also like that, let's be honest here. I'm not the first trans person or first queer person to deny ourselves, and so we resent who we are. But it's one of those things where I feel like growth comes in many different ways. And for me, it took allowing myself to be me to finally be able to grow. To some people, maybe they need more than that. But I feel like it's important to at least recognize that growth. I talk about how I treated myself and how when I first came out, no one was, you want to know who the least supportive person in my life was? It was me. I was the least supportive person to me. I kept saying, oh, what if it's not me? What if I'm not trans? What if I go through telling everybody all of these things, and then, you know, a year or two down the road, I'm like, no, never mind. But those were just my excuses to deny myself being the person I wanted to be. You know? I had people who were like, I remember one of my, I would consider her my best friend in college. She was, when I came out to her, it was, that's so cool, I can't wait to, you know, go like gown shopping for graduation. You know, it wasn't a denial. Friends I had were supportive, as life should be. But I was the one being the most reserved toward myself. You know, I've been actually, if I could pull them up, I would, I should have saved them, because I think this is a really interesting conversation. But in Japan, and a lot of Asian culture in general, gender is expressed very differently. However, you don't see a lot of queer people out in Japan. But primarily, it's because I think there's just a lot more closeted people. And recently there's been a TikToker who will interview people probably around like our age, if not maybe even a little younger. that are, you know, they'll be like, so what's your feeling on, like, trans folk? And I haven't seen a single one of them be a negative response. More just like, I haven't met anybody like that, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to be you. I think individuality is such an important factor when it comes to, you know, figuring ourselves out, and nobody needs, like, the stress and that kind of stuff. And it's all of those, like, responses. And it's really interesting listening to it from a country like Japan that has predominantly been seen as maybe a little bit more on the reserved end of this. When you came out to your friend Tristan, you were so terrified he wasn't going to support you or believe you, but he was still insanely supportive. Yeah, no, I mean, the closer you are to somebody, the scarier it feels. Because it means the harder it would be if something were to be taken negatively. And that's a very real and valid feeling. It's easier to, you know, there's the jokes of, I think it was I want to say, it was some show's reboot. Maybe it was that 80s show, or that 70s show remake. There was a boy on there who they portrayed as gay, and the joke but there's actually some, like, validity to this, where it was talking about how they were like, oh yeah, I had that 90s show, thank you. They were like, I have my 8-step process on how I'm coming out to people. First, I started off by coming out to random people that I'll never speak to again. And they show a scene of him on the phone ordering pizza and then just saying I'm gay and hanging out. Then it was, you know, parents of people that they're friends with. And, you know, it's truth to that. Because you want to work your way up to the tougher people. It's harder to come out to other people that you are more worried about the dynamic being ruined. It's real, like, it's a joke, but everybody was praising that episode because it felt exactly that. It felt real. You know? It was easier for me to not... my cousin is a year older than me. I lived with him for 3 years. We would spend summers together. Did I come out to his girlfriend at the time that I had known for 6 months before I came out to him? Yes. Because to me, that was an easier environment and family dynamic. So you know, we all have our paths and directions that we go down, and that was my decision. Though it feels like coming out as gay, trans, etc. in Japan would have its own difficulties, yeah. I think there's a stigma, not necessarily to our demographic, because it's so interesting, because again, gender is expressed so differently in Asian cultures, but at the same time, it's almost harder to come out from societal norms in Asian cultures. There was news coming out about a K-pop idol possibly being in a relationship with another, like, solo artist. And it felt so, like, rare to me, because I was like, there aren't many queer K-pop artists, let alone queer K-pop girlies. Does that go there? I guess I'm missing other pieces? Yeah, that's probably it. And then we put this one here? No? Does this one go here? 100% a little bit. It feels like LGBTQIA plus people treatment in Japan is night and day to what it was even 10 years ago. Oh, 100%. I feel like I remember I had came out. So I had met somebody through playing a actually a gacha game, surprisingly enough. And I had been friends with her in high school, and then we stopped talking, but we kept in touch. After, like, we both got into college, because I think she was a year younger than me. So we both kept in touch, we were both chatting, and then through, like, our conversations, I was like, I like come out to her, because, you know, she was like, hey, is this so-and-so? And at the time, I had already come out, so I was like, well, about that. And she was like, oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. And she was born in Japan. And so I remember she started, like, sending me these different, like, TikToks and YouTube videos on the, like, queer culture and the, like, specifically, like, trans folk in Japan, and how, this would, mind you, this was back in, I want to say 2017, 2018. And I think, I almost feel like trans people are more accepted than gay folk in Japan. And the reason is that, like, you look at something like a Love Hotel. A Love Hotel oftentimes will deny gay people access in there, but they're fine with, like, lesbians because of, like, social stigma. There are some that are getting better, but there are a lot of those things that are, like, changing. So it almost feels like the hardest part, if anything there, from an outside perspective, is to be gay. Charlie, I will not stream Yakuza, but I am such a huge Yakuza series fan. I have recently picked back up playing Yakuza 5. I'm almost done with Yakuza 5. And then, I look forward to getting to Infinite Wealth when the time comes. You think one of the first people you went through questioning her was one of your coworkers, and she was like, you're not trans, you figure that out when you hit puberty, which made you nervous? And the transition was wrong? And yeah, I think that that is a, like, valid feeling to be, like, nervous after that. One bad experience can shape up an entire dynamic. And that's very real. All it takes is one person to cast those doubts and insecurities towards yourself and make you doubt your comfort level of coming out to people. My oldest brother asked me if this was really me or am I doing it because it's a fad right now. And I still resent him for that. We're on at least amicable terms because I've communicated why that was such a terrible thing to say to me. However, it was something that bothered me, that he had stated. I thought that that was a terrible thing to say to me. And it was my first bad reaction toward coming out. And it really made me start to be more particular about who and how I came out to people. I ended up getting to a point where if we were talking about coming out when it comes to, like, family, and my grandmother would be like, oh, Auntie, you know, Joanne doesn't know yet. And my exact words to her were just, screw it, you tell her. I don't have to do that. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having to come out to people. You can have their reaction. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it was a very real reaction. I have such a large family that I was like, I am done. I am just done with having to feel like I have to tell my story and repeat the same questions and answer the same thing all the time. It gets exhausting. Yeah, I was like, I don't need to keep telling my story. You've heard it enough. So I just was like, for my own sanity, for my own just, like, self, I was like, this is for me. If people have questions, they can come to me. But I don't need to go through the whole... I also had family members who would tell other family members under the guise of, oh, I couldn't not tell my wife after you told me. And I hated that. I think that that is such a cop-out. I think it's such a... For anybody who has to go through that, I do not wish that upon you. Because it was the most irritating thing for me when I had family members use that as an excuse. It made me so betrayed. Because you shouldn't use, oh, I can't hide secrets from my partner as an excuse to betray trust like that. At least don't ask. Like, at least ask if you can say that. But to do it without saying anything was just so terrible to me. You know? Your dad asked you something similar, and he was like, did so-and-so from the club you're in convince you like this? You always wanted to find a reason for why you are rather than... Yeah! I think my grandmother, in her... I've had to teach my grandmother this too. My grandmother is so supportive of me. But my God, does she try to look for any way of me growing up and acting a certain way as, oh, could this have been a sign? Should I have been able to know sooner? Not in the bad way, but in the, did I not do a good job as a parent for not noticing this? And I keep telling her, because it's something simple as like, oh, you know, you were never comfortable going to the bathroom alone. You didn't want to use the bathroom in a public environment. And I'm like, Grandma, you have to stop looking for reasons as to why, or like reasons as to notice. It's not worth it. I'm not looking for it. So why are you? You know? For you, it's never family going, oh, we wanted you to let you come out in your own way. It was, we're somewhat ashamed of you, so we haven't told this person. Love that. Mm-hmm. No, that is... I am thankful that that is not something I had to experience. Because that would be absolutely ridiculous to go through. And I do not wish what you had on, like, anybody else. We all deserve the feeling of acceptance and love and not being judged. It makes me sad to hear something like that happening. It's hard to want to open yourself up. It's hard to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not something anybody wants to do. You know? Being vulnerable means making ourselves in a situation where we could be hurt. But it takes a lot of courage to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Which is why it's so frustrating when you do allow yourself that it leads to something like that happening. And that's why I trust, specifically, like, our generation. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm afraid for the pandemic kids and the iPad kids generation. But I think that our generation and the kids that we're gonna have, I think we're probably gonna be some of the best parents that we've seen in recent years. We're gonna put all of our parents to shame. Because I think the empathy that we try to have, and that understanding, and the experiences, are all something that we all sorely want. And it's important that we give that same feeling. Because I know that for some people, they didn't have that. You were never allowed to tell your grandmother you were gay, but she had heart failure, and it was in her last month. You told her anyway. She was so happy. It's tough to forgive people for thinking she was some bigot. Yeah! No, I totally understand that. I feel like I had some family members who had, again, not so great opinions. More on the conservative end. So of course I was worried about a lot of the family that I have in my life being supportive. And one of those family members I have is a pretty well-off 80-plus-year-old woman. And you want to know the wildest thing about her? She just loves hearing my stories. She wants me to keep telling her. She's like, I might not get it, but I want to keep hearing. I want to keep listening. Because it's something that she herself just wants to understand more. And this is somebody that I probably was more concerned about than most of my family members. I was not anticipating it being a positive experience. Because, you know, we ourselves, in this, like, very valid and very real feeling, have stigmas just like people have stigmas on us. Because we ourselves don't want to be hurt. their stigmas are hurtful if it's true, in the sense that we are people that, you know, don't want to be hurt by the words that they're going to say, but then we use those preconceived notions and feelings to not even give that person a chance. You know? And I think that's, like, the big thing at its heart. I'm not denying anybody the option to not do the direction that I'm saying. I think that for a lot of people, it takes a lot to allow ourselves to do that. And if you have one bad experience, it's going to make it harder. And that's A-okay. But I do think that we, in protecting ourselves, are often the kind of people who give us a harder time to talk about that. Chat, I need to use the bathroom. I'm going to put on the BRB screen. And I will see you all in just about a minute. So sit tight and I'll see you in a second. I realized I made a mistake on that scene, and I didn't add any audio sources, so that's my bad. I'll try not to use that scene next time, so you're not sitting in silence. I looked over and I was like, oh, there's no audio sources set up there. Oopsie. Oh well, I tried. A lot of older folks tend to be super supportive, while like the 50s, 60s are. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that because it's almost like a curve, where once you get to a certain age, I feel like a lot of people are just like, I've gone through my whole life. And the one thing that I think a lot of them just have this feeling of is just like, you just gotta let yourself be happy. You know? I think that's a feeling that a lot of people have started in that age demographic have started to do. It's just like, and I think that has a lot of truth to it. I haven't met a single person under the age of, you know, or over the age of 70 in my family that is not supportive, you know? Is it the yellow flowers? It was the yellow flowers I had to do. Got it. I had to figure out that puzzle. Alright, I guess we're going up there. So yeah, it's just like, it feels as though, but like you're saying, you get to a certain point where, you know, the people that it's almost, I think like, it's also like the time frame that you're like born in, you know? I look at, you know, a baby boomer, and while maybe they might be someone who could have been a little bit more bigoted, they've also seen so much hate that after a certain point in their life, some of them are just like exhausted from it, you know? Is that a wrong assessment, do you think? Because I feel like that's true. There's only so much in someone's body of hate that you can take before you're just like, this is just too much, you know? Alright, I guess that one is supposed to stay there. Because, like, that one rotated into place when it was there. So, yeah, it's just very... That one does not rotate into place. I didn't mean to put that one there. Yeah, they don't snap anywhere else. But it's true, like, how many times do you look at, like, a parent of a child, and they're the ones that are being more of the, I guess hypocrite is the right way to put it, or the one that is not allowing, or the judgmental one. I think that's it. Because it's true, I think a lot of the people in the generation before us are more of the judgmental ones than us. At least right now. Which is a real shame. And it's also why I feel so fortunate in my family. People born in the late 50s, early 60s grew up in that presidency, so it's probably like these awful presidents shaped a lot of their history. Yeah! And it's true, because that is the case. Like, it feels like, at least in America specifically, a lot of these situations do get shaped by who is currently in charge at the time. It's why voting is going to be so important this year. And I know I have some people who watch me, and it might be their first time being able to vote. And I do genuinely want to make sure that that is something that doesn't get missed. Because I know, and I was telling this in a French stream the other day. Because I was talking to somebody who was a little bit more, I guess, in the chat, one simple-minded in like the ignorance is bliss sense. And so, while talking to them, I was like, it comes from a sense of privilege to not have to care about these issues. If you are somebody who cares about me, or another trans friend, or another trans person, then care about the issues for them. You know? You can, instead of it not, you being like, oh, it doesn't pertain to me, I'm not concerned, then think about the people who are affected. The people in your life that you do care about. And I think that that mindset has really shaped a lot of people lately. who maybe did not think about it that way. And it's understandable, but that's why I think it's important to share that information and that knowledge. How do I get this thing open? Because I need that piece there. But how do I get this gate open? I am like stumped here, I'm not gonna lie. Does it go here? And then both of them open? Ah! It goes 1, 2, 3. That's how it works. I understand. So then this one goes here. And then you'll flip into place. Yep. And then you'll go here. And then the last one is right here. Aha! We did it! All that for the precious chest. Nice! I figured it out. Do you have any relic pieces? I want my Duluth to be good. I really do. But he's at 45, 170. He just does, and he has 1900 attack. He just, it's this piece right here that I just need to replace. It's so frustrating that this piece just, but it's literally the only circlet that I have been able to find in like that this is the newest one that I found, and it had been like 3 weeks since I had gotten a circlet. This piece is good. I'm not mad at that. This piece is great. I'm not mad at that. This piece is okay, but it's got all the pieces you would want. It's really just this piece that is making the difference. I guess his attack's also skewed differently. Very nostalgic seeing Crimson Witch. Crimson Witch is still like the top set on him, actually. Yeah! There's still a couple people that use Crimson Witch, I think. But I try not to farm it. Because it's just so, like, the other set's just not usable. You swear you farmed it for months when you ran Yanfei? I think Yanfei still runs Crimson Witch, too. Yeah. But Wanderer's Troop's pretty equal there. You like Emblem. Yeah. Chevy... What is Chevy like? She's not a Crimson Witch user. Oh, you like the healing bonus set. Really interesting. I didn't know that. Noblesse could also make sense on her for sure. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Pyro characters either. That's like my other one that I don't have a lot of. Which is why I'm looking forward to getting a Father Sino when Father Sino comes around. Zhengling has aged so well. Oh, she's still one of the best characters, yeah. Especially because the catch from Inazuma is just so good. She's... I think, like... She's not somebody I want to build anytime soon. But I know she's just a really good, really strong. I think she's a part of, like, that core 4 of, like, 4 stars. It's, like... That was from, like, the original days, if I had learned correctly. It was, like, Chongyun, Zhengling, Xingqiu, and... Fischl? I want to say were, like, the core 4 stars. I do not want to fish. That is, like, my line. I'm like, I will not fish. No, thank you. Do I need to level up any Bennett pieces still? Let me see that. Maybe I do. Aha, 16, 16. They're all at 16, so, like, I can afford to do it. Let's do, specifically, your healing bonus is leveled up. That's fine. We'll do your HP goblet then. Roll some good stats, perhaps. Give you more HP. Show me more energy recharge. Come on. No consumables found. I'm so close. Damn. On the next chest, I'll get it. Oh, there's a 2-piece there. I have to get 2 of them. Interesting. Oh, this is fire. Okay. This is fine. I can do fire. Go to... Let's do Diluc for this. Diluc and Bennett can be... This is a team that I want to use when they're, like, actually ready to be used. The problem is that I don't know when they will be. Because I only have a handful of them that are actually ready. But I just don't feel like Diluc does a lot of damage yet. That's my problem. I don't trust Diluc's damage output. I'll find a monster to hit, and I'll show you. I just don't have the faith in him yet. Where's a... Alright, yeah, here we go. So this will be with Bennett damage boost. Okay. 10, 4, 16. Yeah. 10, 4, 16. Without it, 4, 4, 8. And then these strikes are doing like 7,000, 10,000. Like, they're not terrible. But it's still not good enough for me. Because it's not critting enough. I think the crit damage is fine. He just needs more attack. And he needs a little bit more going for him. One of the Kingdom Hearts is that weapon. It's an event weapon that came out like a couple months, about a month ago. It is called Ultimate Overlord's Mega Magic Sword. It's actually really good. Attacks is increased by 24%. And then for all of the mezzanines, which is an area in Fontaine that you've helped, you get an extra 24%. So, 48% extra attack that you get. Because I've helped all of the mezzanines by doing their side quests. So, it's just it is just a giant stat stick with a large amount of energy recharge. So it's actually, like, really good on him. As funny as that sounds. I probably wouldn't have expected it. But it's very large, very silly, but very powerful in my opinion. I like that I woke up that golem there. But I'm also just destroying him simultaneously. It's fine, I always need to farm you. It's a very silly weapon. It's not as silly, though, as, what's that one weapon that's just like the fish? I wish I had that Claymore. I really wish I had that Claymore. Sadly, I do not have the fish Claymore. Do you know what I'm talking about, Charlie? Kick it! Wow, I kicked it and I activated it. Hell yeah. That's one of the few weapons that I wish I had. There's also apparently a really good, like, Dragon Spine event weapon. Back when, like, Dragon Spine first came out. That I'm very upset that I never had, but that it was an event-only weapon. Because I feel like it would be really good to have. And I'm just never gonna get it. I don't remember the name, but I had some friends showing me. I was like, oh, wait, what is this sword? I was like, how did you get that? And then he was like, oh, yeah, I got it from, like, Dragon Spine. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, no, it wasn't from Dragon Spine. It was from an event during Dragon Spine. Oh, little tiny room. That's cute. I needed to do that to get that anyway, then. Hell yeah. Is that the 1 hour? I know nothing about the sword. I just know that it was an event that came out early on in the game's lifespan. I couldn't even tell you the name of it anymore, because I read it like one time. Maybe it does go here. Okay, it does go there. It just wasn't setting into place. I feel like it's sort of like K. Like, if I were to look up the weapons, let me see here. Weapons, Genshin. Is there a way for me to... list of them? Yes, okay. I'm scrolling. It's not Ishin. Is it this one? Yes, this is the one. I'll link it in chat. It's that one. That weapon. I looked at that weapon. You would love an event replay system. There's certain events that I feel like should be replayed for sure. I feel like we will never get that, but it would be really cool. Games that do that, I think, are really, like, it's a small thing, but I like those kinds of things. You know? You want to eat the sweet flowers. Okay, but I've given you the sweet flowers. I put the sweet flowers in there. Oh, maybe he wants to sit on, like, the... There you go. Got it. He wanted to sit on the rock to eat the flowers. I understand. I think there's just one thing here that I... Why is there just one? Oh. Now there's more. Oh. Interesting. I've never seen that before to unlock it. But yeah, my weapons in this game are so limited because I don't pull on weapon banners. And I have only put one 5-star weapon on the standard banner. So my options out there are not high. Alright, Bennett. Benny boy. Let's get you to 20 on this. Show me... EM or recharge. Nothing helpful there. Alright, more energy recharge though? I'll level that one up next for more recharge. Charlie, is there a reason you don't like to play Genshin anymore? It's in there. Do I have a key? I don't have a key for it. Mark that, come back later. I will say, it's so silly, but part of me is like, low-key. You only like one gotcha at a time? No, that's fair. That's totally fair then. Part of me is like, low-key was, when I thought about it, it's so silly. My surgery is on Friday. It was supposed to be on Wednesday next week. Hi, Wicked. How we doing? Hope you're doing well. And Wednesday is also the day that, Penacony comes out. So part of me went, oh my god, yay, I can play Penacony before I have to get my surgery. At least I can make some good progress beforehand. I was like, awesome. I won't be sitting there on my account when that launches. How are you doing today, Wicked? I hope you've been well. Chat, did you know that I won a game of Fortnite with Wicked? I know, crazy. I went and I was like, hey, I'm gonna carry you in a game of Fortnite. And what do you know? In 2 games, I did that. You've been busy. Hey, nothing wrong with a little bit of busyness. Hopefully it's a good busy at least. Oh, it's also this one here? Yeah, so I have to hit all 4 of them. So how do I do that? You love being carried by me? It's because I'm 5'11" and you're short. That's the carry you meant, right? Still under the effects of anesthesia while getting a really buff garbage can is doing backflips on the top of the car. It will be like a fever dream. More of a than what's it called is. It'll be more of a fever dream than the commercial that we watched on my stream. That's the word I'm looking for. How do I do the chest here? I genuinely don't know. Because I have to activate like those 4 so fast. But there's nothing there for it, yeah? Like, is there a way for me to get the water? To, like, rain down on 3 of them? At all times? I'll just do this for now. Do a time trial. Hang on tight, Spider Monkey. God. More Twilight. I will say, I am gonna be watching Twilight. I will be watching Twilight when I'm in the hospital. I might honestly, instead of watching the Super Bowl, just watch Twilight instead. Because the reality for me is, I truly do not care about who wins the Super Bowl. They were the 2 teams I did not want to see winning. And all the commercials come out early these days. So, it might be Twilight in the hospital. It's either Twilight in the hospital or Twilight in bed. One of the 2. I'm really having a fun time just exploring this area out. Just doing all the silly things with it. Now, how do I unlock that chest? Because it's just sitting there. Menacing me. In the water. What do I have to do with it? I was never a Puppy Bowl watcher. Nor was I one that, like, really cared about it. You know? I like dogs. But dogs don't really do much for me. In a sense that, like, I derive joy from watching something like that. There's nothing wrong with watching it or enjoying it. I just know that it was never something for me personally. You love puppies? I am not surprised one bit. I am definitely just a cat girl through and through. You love the kitty halftime show? I didn't know they did anything with the cat. That's crazy. That just shows how little I know about it. Because I had no idea that they did anything like that. 63%, 53%. Not bad so far. We're making good exploration here. I'm feeling pretty good. At like 2 hours of exploration, I've gained like 30% in both areas. It's a solid haul. Having this compass is also just like really helpful. I think it's in the rock of that area, so let's go further away. A trans woman who loves cats. Shocker. Okay, but like, I was a big imitator, and if I liked something of somebody's, I would also make that my personality trait growing up. So, up until I was in college, I thought I would be a dog owner. My family almost teases me. Like, my older brother, I remember when I told him I wanted to own like 2 cats, he was like, ew, cats? Because he's always had dogs. But also, like, you don't gotta judge me for like that. Those kind of comments, I'm just like, why? But yeah, as soon as my goals for this year are to move out west to the Seattle area. And in doing so, once I'm out there, I will 100% be a cat owner. Probably sooner rather than later. I will have to look specifically for apartments that are cool with cats. However, that shouldn't be hard, seeing as both of my sets of friends that live out there have pets and live in apartments. Have dogs always wanted dogs? Yeah, I think that's the other big appeal to me. A puppy is like a child. Generally, a kitten or a cat is just going to be a lot more independent. And that's a big factor for me. I like the energy that a cat has because they are someone who will be independent, live their best life, and then when they want attention or they sense that you want attention, that's the other big one. They're very emotionally drawn creatures. And so, I think that I want that, like, sense of comfort, that camaraderie, that when I'm having a rough time, I know that I have someone or something, and that something would be a cat. We all need that in life. It's not easy to, you know, when you're down, when things aren't going so hot, to allow ourselves to have, especially like when you're alone, just like, you just want that like thing or that creature to like hug. And there's nothing wrong with that. When I lived with my grandparents my first year in college, I would get homesick pretty frequently. And so when I was really down sometimes, the cat that apparently only ever loved my grandmother started to open up to me and come downstairs and hang out with me because I lived in the basement. Let me pet them, which it never did before. And I wasn't somebody who was ever trying to bother the cat. I was told, that's my grandmother's cat. She only really likes her, and she lives in my grandmother's room. Sits under my grandmother's bed for the most part, or on her bed. But once that cat opened up to me, once I felt that feeling of a animal who could sense how I was feeling and wanted to try to provide some comfort when I myself hadn't ever really bonded with the cat. Well, that was enough for me. You know? I didn't need anything more after that to be like, yeah, cats won me over. And that's a moment that I will not forget anytime soon. You struggle a lot with loneliness. You just really want a pet to cuddle. Exactly. And that's a very real and raw feeling. And I think that also just having a pet in general is good for us as people. It's, you know, it keeps us accountable. If, you know, you're feeling depressed, oh, but I gotta get out of bed to make sure my cat's okay. And sometimes it's alright to use that as your motivation for the day. It's hard to have that motivation when it's only you. But when you have something else, someone else that you also have to take care of, I think it really flips a switch on us. You know what I mean? Oh, it's under me again. But how do I go under here? Oh, that way. Got it. So yeah, I feel like that is my take on that. It's okay to feel the way. And is there another cave entrance? Like, I don't know. It says it's under, but I don't see a way under other than that. You needed something productive to do, so you took down the Christmas tree. My grandmother, on that topic of, like, loneliness, she has kept her tree up year-round at this point. Because she doesn't really have the means to take down her tree. It's a very large tree, and it sits in her room. She's keeping it up right now because it's a sense of joy for her to look at. And I'm the one that's been kind of telling her. I was like, Grandma, just don't worry about putting it away. I know how happy just looking at that makes you. And there's nothing wrong if you yourself want to do that. No, Pasta Wizard. Do not join my world. There's another family that lives near my aunt and uncle. We drove past their house the other day, and they did not take their Christmas lights down. However, they have just turned them red and pink for Valentine's Day, which I think is kind of cute. Hi, Thurandas. You really enjoying gaming? I have not pulled him yet, but I will grab him probably during Lantern Rite. I skipped Cloud Retainer, but I definitely enjoyed playing him in the trial. Finally done with work? Hell yeah! happy that you're feeling... Happy that you're done with work. Happy that you're able to... I ran past this chest. Because it looks like a barrel. Directly under me? So, like, under the waterfall, perhaps? Boiler's dim sum? Yeah. Which is apparently, like, very, like, Cantonese of a Chinese person. Like, it's stereotypical, but, like, the Cantonese people relate to it a lot. Is it down? Is there another layer down? I guess, yeah, down here. So there's another chest still in here that I need to get. In this cave. I know I've explored here already. Oh! I'm just silly! I bet him and Paimon would be good buddies. Paimon loves to eat. I believe it. Any other chests in here? Up that way. I feel like that's a no. Oh, but there are these geo plates here. I need Geo Traveler for this. Come on out, Geo Traveler. Sit there. No, I don't want to hit the turtle. I want this here. I'm not trying to hit the damn turtle. Thank you. I didn't want to hurt the turtle. Just wanted to do this silly quest. If you have any intention of summoning Cloud Retainer, those crystals on the creatures are her material. I did notice that. I'm purposely saving them in case I have friends. If you need them, Zaz, like, I'm down as well. But I've been saving them in case people need the crystals, as I'm somebody who obviously does not. I just didn't want to take the material if I'm not pulling for her. And I don't think Gaming wants them too. Gaming wants his own material. Right? Like if I go to trial Gaming wants the Star Conch. Yeah. Yeah, Gaming wants the seashells. So yeah, I have zero reason to want those yet. Those jade things. And I imagine not many other people other than the Cloud Retainer are gonna want them. Because how many more backlogged Liwa characters are they gonna make, you know? I imagine there's not many. Unless they want to do, like, the equivalent of a new Valette for Liwa in the future. But then would they really want, like, this current item? I don't know. I feel like this is just gonna be a specific item solely for her. Why is my game laggy right now? That was weird. I don't think I have a lot of Star Conches. Let me look. Resources. They're not here, are they? It's like this tab? Yeah, it's this tab. 39. Chiori apparently wants yeah, apparently Chiori wants the Dendro Bloom. But not only that, apparently she also wants Spectres. So I'm in for that. Yeah, she wants this one. The Dendrobium. I think that's what it was, or something like that. Natsushi speech? Yeah, that sounds about like, that sounds right. Did I see something over there? No, okay. At least those aren't like bad to hunt for comparatively to specters. Oh, I could not even see that at all. That was a bad spot to pop the treasure thing. Oh well. I'm really happy about the progress here. I also need to go over here more and look. I can probably get another level on the thing as well. Alright, here's a better spot for it. We look this way. But like, under? Huh? I'll just keep going this way for now. That's fine. Oh, this is the cave one. Got it, got it. That's what it's trying to attract me to. Yeah, let's go turn in one of the Carp's Rest areas. And get that leveling up. I bet you there's a treasure in here, too. Up! 2 blue wishes. And 1 more for it. Level 5. Honestly, level 7's like the last one that I care about. Obviously, the rest are just like primos and such. All these tunnels and caves. Yeah, there's a lot of them, but it's not that bad. It's not like we're in the underground areas, you know? And the last blue pole. Alright, now to figure out where this chest is. Because you got it higher. But, like, I can't go up there. So you tell me there's nothing down here, then? And I can't go through there. One with the fishes. Yeah, it's like above here. It's almost like it wants me to teleport to like here and then look this way. Maybe that'll be it. Alright, I'm gonna leave this screen up, but I'm gonna run to the bathroom again. So you can do that. You can't do an exploration in my bathroom, you can pretend to. But I will be right back, and when I get back, we will continue the exploration. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I can imagine Cloud Hitter's really nice for just the exploration aspect of things. Oh, you got the Rika card? Oh, I'm so jealous. You got Rika! You got my girl Rika! Oh, I am so jealous. I can't believe you pulled my girl Rika. I love this for you. Pop off. Let's go down here. You bought the Rika card, it was $5. Okay, but like $5 for Rika, I'd pay more than $5 for her. The sun descends into the sky, adorned. Sure, man. Whatever you say. Is this a miasma? It is a miasma. Maybe? At least you are a person of taste. Understanding that Rika is best girl. Oh, you know what would be cute? A video where I try to pretend like I am a different trainer. So like, for instance, you have one where you're playing as Rika. And so you start off and you start with like your wooper, and then you start to catch like the rest of her team. Obviously, you would only have like 5 Pokemon to use, but I think it could be really cute. Pretend like you're going through the journey with them, and then finally you get to the mirror matchup at the end. And then, you know, everything else would just be icing on the cake after that. But yeah, I think Rika is, like, unironically one of my favorite trainers in, like, all of Pokemon. So for me, I'm like, give me more characters with that aesthetic. Just more like... I feel like I really enjoy the diversity that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet gave us. Again, even just like Grusha, being this like gender ambiguous person, like their pronouns are there, but the way that they dress was so like like gender ambiguous before we learned what their pronouns were, and it was iconic. Like, Pokemon was definitely doing better with that aspect, adding more diversity. You love Grusha? I feel like knowing your personalities as Grusha is like, I sit there and I'm like, that is like you in like the, you know, not in like the personality wise of anything more than you just like seeing characters that are dressed up in a way that are not traditional. I know you like seeing, you know, girls that are not in only a dress in like a gacha, or, you know, I like that kind of thing. So I sit there and I'm like, Grusha is like the kind of thing you like to see. How do you feel about Gallagher in Star Rail? With him being like the first actual like Hoyoverse character that has facial hair. I think Rika's top 5 for you. Yeah. And it's so funny because she has like a no role in the story, but aesthetically, she's top 1. You know, here's the question for Charlie, too. Charlie, are you more of an adventurine or are you more of a Gallagher? I'm sure you are one of them. Gallagher. Yep, there it is. No. You're all good. You're all good. You like Russia, especially since he uses he/him, but obviously he doesn't look super masculine. Makes you happy. Exactly. Like, I hope I said that correctly, because that was kind of what I was saying. I was trying to say. The characters that you like break away from, like, the societal expected on how somebody's supposed to present themselves. I thought about it. I was like, yeah, Charlie, you're probably a Gallagher person. But I had to at least give Adventuring a little bit of a shot. Cynthia, Marnie, and I feel like I'm not a big... You prefer Risley? You don't really love facial hair? That's fair. I didn't know if, again, that was in a similar vein of changing the expected would be something that'd be nice. I feel like, aside from Leon, there was really no well done Sword and Shield character. I hated Hop. Marnie was underutilized because Team Yell was kind of bad. Like, if you can combine the game, like the animation of a Legends Arceus game, or the world of Legends Arceus, with the battle animations of Sword and Shield, and the character building of Scarlet and Violet, you have a perfect Switch game. I definitely think Gallagher's design fits the bartender feel. He feels like he would be best friends with Sampo. Gallagher has big himbo energy, exactly. Like, those two would get into hijinks together. Or, that's like where Sampo goes to get his drinks every night. And I love that for him. If I was gonna do a February stream for It Gets Better, I probably would have done the Star Rail stream for 3 hours and just did more Panacone shenanigans. Maybe we'll get a new patch and I'll be able to do Star Rail stuff. They're a terrible team because they aren't actually bad guys. It's not a matter of, like, to me that they're, like, not bad guys. I just feel as though they were very underutilized. And it kind of ruined the whole aspect of, like, Marnie. Because Marnie was supposed to have this, like, cheerleading squad and such. But I feel like Marnie's character doesn't really develop. Like, it would have been really cool if, instead of just Hop being with you, you could have had, like, Hop, Marnie, and Bede all doing that final battle against Eternatus. You know? I think that would have added more development. Let's keep exploring the upper area, because I haven't done much there. Eventually want to run a party of men with ill-fitting t-shirts, and nobody can stop me. Hell yeah. Gender it up. I love that for you. That kind of brings up the thoughts around Sam from Star Rail. Like, you couldn't care less if they're male or female, you just want a suit of armor, but some people might be upset if it turned out to be a certain gender. No, I think that's totally fair. I think it's also why Zenless Zone Zero has me so excited. Because you have so many different just, like, races of people. Let alone just, like, body shapes and types. You can tell what yours is. Yes. You definitely have a type bottom. And that's okay. I feel like I was originally like so excited for more Stellaron hunters because I thought all of them were super cool. But then you meet the Duke Inferno squad, and I'm like, give me Akash. Give me Nanami. Which I have come to the realization, that's probably why I want Akash. You want to pull so hard for the Kofu-like character? I think that's fair. Is it back here? Where's this chest that I'm looking for? Oh, it's right there. See, you asked about a galaxy. Give you Duke Inferno and you'll swoon. You like characters dressed in colored suits? Okay. No. I totally get that. I asked about Gallagher because, again, he was another character that broke away from the standard that was being presented in a Hoyover's game. Which feels weird to say when it was really just adding facial hair. But still. But Duke Inferno will be super interesting. If he was recruitable, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I worry that he's gonna be like a Cocolia situation. But, who knows? Maybe in the future. He'll watch he ends up being the same situation that we all feel about Signora. Oh yeah, we can still hold out hope. Just like I'll hold out hope that one day Signora will be a playable character. One day. Trust me, one day I'll be able to play Signora. There's probably a chest in here, right? Surely there's a chest in this building. Maybe down below? On the bridge? No? Down by the waterfall? Signora takes over every scene she's in, and you love it. Signora is just... It's okay. There's gonna be other Fatui that we will meet. Other Fatui that I will want to pull. However, Star Rail still has my heart. It was funny. The other day, I was hanging out in a friend's stream, and she was like, "So Chloe, have you been like burned out of Genshin yet, or are you still playing?" And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Chloe, honey," because we're both named Chloe. I'm literally on right now. I probably have streamed Genshin more than I have Star Rail. Because streaming Genshin has proved to be a little bit better than streaming Star Rail. And I am okay with it. Because one, I am fully caught up on. And the other, I have considerably more things to do. You find yourself excited for whatever Star Rail could be, but you literally play only 20-30 minutes a day? Yeah, I feel like that's like a fair assessment. When there's nothing to do right now, a lot of people kind of reach that same feeling. You log in, and the only day that I really play a long time are gonna be traditionally the weekly resets. When I do like my Echoes of War and stuff. Or like my Simulated Universe. Which I haven't even finished my Simulated Universe this week. I did enough for one run. I normally do the 2. Panacone's gonna be fun. The Star Rail, yeah, it was so hype. You know what was super interesting about the Star Rail Direct? And specifically the MV that they put out after? I don't know if it was intended. I have speculation. So, Hear me out. Where do I go from here? Oh, up there. Oh, I'd have to play it for you. But did any of you watch, like, the actual music video that came with it? Not, like, the direct trailer, but, like, the actual music video? Because there was a little something there that I saw that got me thinking. And what I saw... Let me... the human one. Yes, the human one. Let me pull this up. Honkai Star Rail. I'm not going to play the video. However, I do want to just find the spot that I'm looking for here. Let me just drag this under everything. I'm going to try to, like, find it really quick. Yeah, right here. I felt like this, to me, was like a tie-in. This fish felt like a tie-in to, like, possibly the whale. That was my headspace. If you know what I'm talking about from Fontaine, I was like, I wonder if this fish is, like, related to that in any way. That's my theory. It's highly unlikely, but that's my headcanon right now. It feels like they had to have put some Easter eggs in there. There is a whale in the train. Exactly. So, you know, it is the all-devouring whale from different dimensions. So I don't think it's unreasonable to suspect that, you know? Is there any firm conversion? No. There is not. Which is why it would be interesting if that's how they connect it with the whale that just travels to different universes. I don't know, but it just feels so random to have something that is there like that and not have a purpose. Especially in a music video, you know? There is zero base on my speculation, but it is my speculation nonetheless. Sometimes you just want to think of something different. Try to be a little... come up with a different idea. Is there a chest in that room? Oh, there is. I was just blind. Alright, I'm probably gonna burn some... I want to burn some of my resin here, now that I've condensed a couple of things. I think I'm gonna keep the condensed ones, though. At least right now. However, I do want to burn on specifically the hypostasis, since I'm trying to get Fischl up and ready. So if I can beat this, but I don't want to use the steam. The steam is not good for it. I need my cryo squad. This is the squad that we use for the electro hypo. Alright, what attack are you gonna do? Is it drill? No, it's punch. You ready to watch the fastest fight that I've ever had on this thing? Boom. Alright. Alright. It's that, and that's why I use the squad against it. It just melts through it. That squad is just so powerful. Now imagine if it had a Shenhe instead of a Navi on it. That team would be beautiful. Alright. Oh, Crimson Witch of Flames. For you have not treated me well lately. I come to you in a time of need. Hoping for a good piece. I mean, it honestly has potential for an off piece. Like, there's potential for somebody to use that. What's my Nuvalet's? Because my Nuvalet's is an off piece. It's got 13 crit damage. If this rolls 3 rolls of crit damage, it would be better. Oh my god, this thing just rolled crit rate too? I think we just full send this. I think I'm just gonna full send this piece. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. HP, more crit rate. Okay. Now, can you roll 1 thing of crit damage? Energy recharge. Eh. Unfortunate rolls. So right now, he's sitting at 201.60, but that goes up to 36%. It goes up 36% with Marshmallow Hunter. So he's really sitting at 96, 201. So a near perfect ratio. Or at least a near perfect 1-to-2 ratio. And he gained a little bit more HP on that. Like, he's almost at 30,000 health. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because he's at near 100% crit rate now. The next piece that I want to replace is this circlet, but I mean, there's not really much to replace about it. It would actually be this Hydro bonus. This needs to get replaced. It has energy recharge and HP, but it has no crit damage. I want this to have crit damage, and then I would be okay. Imagine if this thing had like just 15% crit damage, and I'd be hitting just how much stronger. Like, my Nuvalet is by far, like, one of my most invested characters. But also my Risley is 52, 53, 204. And again, he's also got the Marshmallow Hunter. So, 36%? So he's like 80-something and 204. Like, they are my 2 that I definitely was like... I actually haven't looked at them. Do I have any pieces on him that I would like to replace? This Cryo one, it could be better. This is a crit rate piece with 20% crit damage. Not bad. I'm happy with that. Attack with crit. Solid off piece. This piece could get replaced. It's only got crit damage, so he could get better. Like, if I just took this off and threw it on, like, here, because it only rolled 2, it rolled 1 max roll of crit damage. Can I push it to 4? No, I can't. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I'll probably end up doing next, is upgrading that piece. I just don't have the resources, though. Too many artifacts to level up. Too little time in between characters that I want to build. I need, like, a downtime. Natlin. Natlin, I need you to just not come out with a character that I want. Okay? Sound good? I just need you to give me, like, 2 months. And I need... Just run, like, a Ganyu banner. Maybe, like, another Yolan banner. Characters that I don't plan on pulling anytime soon. That's what we need right now. I need those kind of banners. Because the reruns are gonna be more of the bane of my existence right now than anything. Because I know we're only getting like 1 character per. That's fine. However, I still would like a lot of, like, after this artifact run, let me look at the characters and see who I'd actually, like, want to pull right now. Because I think there's about, like, 5 reruns that I really would want. Yeah, that team's not good for this run. That's fine, though. Risley hit things. He hit things good. Sure, we use a condensed here. I already had Nahida. Nope. And she is not one that I really care to pull for. Alright, 2 pieces that I can get rid of. Awesome. Yeah, so if we go to, like, the character... I guess character archive? Yeah. I really want Jean. I want Venti. I don't care for Klee. Tartaglia is interesting to me. It'd have to be, like, the right time. Zhongli, yes. Albedo, maybe. Ganyu, no. Zhao, no. Hu Tao is a maybe. Eula, no. Kazuha's a yes. He's in, like, my top 5 wants. Yoimiya, eh. Raiden, if the timing's right. Ito, yes. Shenhe, yes. I do want Ayato. Alhaitham, yes. Nilo, no. Tignari, standard. Sinnoh, if the timing's right. Nahida, eh. Wanderer, yeah. Baiju, yes. Farina. Unsure still. So there's like 6 reruns that I really care about. Maybe like 7. A lot of them are like timing based. You leveled up your Wolf Gravestone since you have too much crit rate on him. At least he will have what stats does Wolf Gravestone give? I don't think I know that. I don't, because I probably don't have it, do I? It's a Claymore. Sort by... Where's my sort button? Type. There we go. Favonius. Massive attack, 50% attack. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't have a lot of claymores. plus the passive gives attack? Really? That's interesting. What is Fischl's weapon on? She uses stringless. Oh, I can just do that. Cool. Let's level that up. Get that cooking. So it's really 70% plus 40 more when the enemies are low health. That's super neat. Honestly, I could probably just level this thing up. I have 182 of these horns. Jesus. It's really this right now. Oh, it's Thursday. I can do that after I do another battle against this thing. I won't be able to strat it as fast because I don't have Ayato ult. However, I can still hit it from here. Alright, Navia. Good job, Navia. You did the work. The hard part was done. I still one-cycled it. Potentially good. But I don't... My problem is that I don't use off-piece feathers. I don't know why. I don't really see myself using off-piece feathers at all. I'm like, I'd rather use off-pieces to harder things to obtain. You know what I mean? Which one is this domain? Oh, it's... Okay. This one's fine. I prefer this one with Risley as well. I don't need skills in order to do damage with Risley. And this one, like, really elongates your cooldowns. Like, watch that. How it's 25 seconds. 40 seconds for his E. But I can just punch. And when I punch, I'm fine. Yeah, 20 seconds on Navia just feels so rough to build those up. And also because they're all Hydro, they're like perma. Just like frozen. Condense. I'll use the condense here. 7 and 4, not bad. I need to get purples. That's my big thing, is I get the purples right now. Because I do want to get her stringless going. I am very surprised that I'm building her, honestly. But she'll probably go on to Nouvelette's team. I need to find like a proper team to do with Navia. Because I really like her here. But I want to find like a proper team for her to just slot in. Like she's never my main DPS when I'm playing with her. She's always a burst and skill kind of girly. One day I'll find like optimal team building when I have variety to work with. Right now, I feel like my options aren't truly there yet, so I don't do a lot of variety toward things, you know? And that's okay. We punch all the slimes. I remember this domain taking me like 3 minutes. Back when I only had Razor to punch things. Oh, how the times have changed. Hit that. You should connect into you. No? Yes, you are. Cool. It at least hit at the end there. And Q. Alright, let's see if that gets at least a couple more levels on that stringless. I feel like the weapons are consistently the thing that ooh, gold. I consistently forget about the most. I don't know if any of you else feel that way. Also, I realized that you were talking about your Gaming build, and let me, like, actually catch back up on this. So he gets massive attack 50%, and the passive gives the attack, so it's really 70% plus 40. Yeah, okay. That's ridiculous how much extra attack you're really getting there. Refund some materials. Nice. We got 5 back. That's crazy. Alright, I don't want bonus production here. Yeah, we want more refunding here. Because I'm not going for the gold. So you want to have it like that. Cool. Alright, official. Your stringless is now gonna get upgraded yet again. Level 70. I need 2 more of the... Nice thing about the extra 40% is it's team bonus, so it gives Jin Young 40% attack when the enemies are low. Interesting. Which will help her passive and healing. Oh! And is Gaming using Marshmallow Hunter? Or does he use a different set? I did get another refund there. Alright, cool. So stringless is being worked on, that's nice. Actually, you know what I should just do? I should finish up her stringless, because I have the one resin that is the time-based one from Teapot. Though Crimson Witch is also his top step, you never farm Crimson Witch. I've heard nobody likes to farm Crimson Witch, but isn't that just because, like, the Pyro Resist set is just so bad that nobody ever wants to go there? Like, is there a worse set in the game than that? I feel like everybody I have been told has never tried to actually farm Crimson Witch. Which really just shows the state of the area. You ever had a Pyro DPS? You have 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Wanderer on mini? Interesting. I guess Wanderer makes sense, the bow user. I feel like bow users are always like the most likely culprits to using Wanderers. Okay, good. That'll at least get it, push it to 70. The Yim's actually bad in the game, it just has really great stats. Oh, okay. Signori uses Wanderers though, yeah? Or does he use one of the Dendro sets? But I feel like I remember him using Wanderers. Years does? That's what I thought, he was a Wanderer user. He is somebody that I would like to pull on standard. Seems like he'd be fun. Buys you as Deepwood for Dendro Resonate with him. Makes sense, makes sense. But I think my #1 focus on standard banner to hopefully get in the future would be Jean. I want Jean. Alright, official, let's get your weapon up one more time. Here you are. Your weapon is now going to be at 80. Congratulations. Oh god, I can now use my 3-star material. This weapon seems silly. The fillet blade. Why does this weapon just seem silly? Like 240% attack damage on a single hit? I kind of want to keep it. It just feels silly. Alright, so her stringless is 80. Yeah, like if you look here, weapons across the board. Like I still have prototype Amber at 80 with Kokomi. You're at 90, like you're at 90, and then 80, 70, 60, 90. But that's also a white tassel, so like it makes more sense. So, yeah, like you can really see, I didn't really put nearly as much effort into that aspect of things. And that's fine. I just, for some reason, it wasn't what I was, like, looking into very much.
Yes.
And that's okay. Alright, let's see, where... Down here? Have I done this one? I have done this one, okay. Let's explore down here, then. Alright, where is this one that I'm looking for here? Down more? There's no underwater. I can't... I will say, I wish we could swim in this area. I understand we're in Liwa, but like, why can't we swim? Like we're in Fontaine again. The border is right here. I can visibly see the border of Fontaine when I sit on this mountain. Look! There's Fontaine! Let me... Those water's connected. Let me swim in it. Down this way. Oh, chest there and, carp. Awesome. Yeah, let's get the carp thing first. Cool. Excellent. Oh, there's actually... This little guy is just running around doing laps and stuff. Sure, buddy. You do whatever you want. I want the chest. Like that. And it's a precious chest. There's a lot of precious chests they put in this area, I feel like. How many pulls have I gotten today? I think I've made all of that. I made 6 pulls today between Spiral and chest gathering. That feels extremely productive. I don't know about you. I feel like I've done well today.
Yes.
There's a chest down there. But like, why can't I get it? Do I have to talk to him? Hell yeah. And I need the pulls. I have a guarantee for Chiori when she comes around. However, I don't have a guarantee for any other character after that. So I'm sitting here like, please. Alright. I did not mean to start a quest here. I just wanted to get the chest there. I guess I'll come back for that chest another time, because I don't have time for that. I just saw the chest and was like, ooh! Shiny! Be somewhat lurky as, we are done in like 3 minutes, Charlie. So don't even worry about it. I don't got much more time left on here. So enjoy the food. Oh, yeah. It is almost 3 hours in. So, I will be probably finding like, just like one more chest. And then I'll probably raid out. This flew by. Yeah, this was great. I love the It Gets Better stuff. Because we just kind of get to hang out, have good conversation. And I feel like it's all nice for us because, again, these are the kind of conversations that I think sometimes we need. Good for, like, the soul kind of talks, you know? Deeper conversations for the people who want it. And it's very, like, just, like, something that I look forward to. My next stream that I have with It Gets Better is gonna be in March. So, it'll be the last day of March, tentatively, is what I have planned for. And that will be my first stream with them back since bottom surgery. Which is going to be really exciting, because that's where we'll primarily, like, talk about, like, that experience. And that, like, growth. Or, you know, that feeling. And such. So that's, like, a big, exciting topic for me to delve into more. However, I think that's gonna be it here for me. So, friends, thank you so much for my first stream back and It Gets Better. I had a really good time, and I really do appreciate it. I am beginning. My pronouns are she, her. I will probably be, you know, doing my own thing. My last stream on my stream before my surgery is going to be Tuesday of next week. So if people want to, you know, come see me before I go off for surgery, that's the perfect time to. But with that being said, if there's anybody new here who enjoyed the stream, consider leaving a follow on me or on, what's it called? Over at It Gets Better. With that being said, I am going to go raid a former It Gets Better ambassador, if I'm allowed to raid. Let's see if it works for me. Let's see, copy and pasting to no. Awesome. I do have the ability to raid. So Ian is a former It Gets Better ambassador. They're good people. Gotta send them to the former ambassadors. Go spread some love. And I will see you next time. Take care.